Let's see who I get drafted by to start off my superstar career. It's going to be a new series I'm doing on TikTok and YouTube. Oh, I did get drafted by the Buccaneers. All right. See, will I be the next franchise quarterback? We'll see for the Buccaneers. I don't know why they got me. They have Baker Mayfield, but I'll take it. All right. See how I do. My first play of my career does not go very good. I end up throwing a pick. Hopefully next drive I can do something better. Trying to get it to Mike Evans, I do throw a pick. My next drive does not go any better. I throw back-to-back picks trying to get it to Mike Evans again. And that is not going to help us at all. I try and drop back here, but I do end up getting sacked. It is not looking like a good game for us so far. We got to get something going. After the sack, I throw my first completion of my NFL career, and it gets about 30, 40 yards. It's a really good gain right there. We get close to the goal line. We run with Rachaad White, and we get about 8 yards there. So the next play on 2nd and 4, I try and throw to Chris Godwin. It falls up ending incomplete, and it goes to 3rd and 4. The next play on 3rd and 4, we get our first career touchdown to Mike Evans down the middle. On the next drive, our defense finally stops them, and we go out there and I get a completion to Chris Godwin. The next play, we run with Rachaad White, and he gets about a 50-yard touchdown. That helps us out a lot, and we end up tying the game. The next drive, our defense finally stops them again at a tied game. I try and throw it to Cade Otton, but it goes incomplete. A few plays later, I get a completion to Mike Evans for about 30-20 yards, and now it looks like we're in a groove. Can we keep it going? A few plays later, I try and throw to Mike Evans again, but I end up overthrowing it. On a critical 3rd and 8, I get a 20-yard completion to Chris Godwin to get the first. The next play, I throw one to Mike Evans for about 4 to 6 yards. A few plays later, I go for a shot into the end zone, but it falls up, ending incomplete. The next play, I tried running out of the pocket away from the pressure, but I end up getting sacked. The next play, we try and get something to Mike Evans, but nothing works, and we have to settle for 3. The next drive, our defense gets a pick, and we end up starting at the 3, so I run out of the pocket and get about 7 yards. The next play, we throw it for about 6 yards to Chris Godwin, and we end up getting the first. A play later, we try and get something to Mike Evans, but it does not work. Mike Evans wants a flag, but he doesn't get one. The next play, we throw it, and it winds up ending incomplete, overshot again. The next play on a critical 3rd and 10, and we get one to Chris Godwin for about 15 yards. The next play, I end up getting pressured and somehow getting out of it, and I try and throw a pass, but it winds up incomplete. A few plays later, I try and get one to Cade Otton, but somehow he does not get the first down here, and it winds up going 4th and inches, and we punt. The next drive, Washington scores, and I try and scramble away, and I get about 7 yards. The next play, I get pressured this time again, but I cannot get out of it this time, and we lose 9. The next play, I try and make a play happen, but I end up getting sacked again. After halftime, we get a 90-yard return, but I end up throwing a pick. First play and bad mistake. A few plays later in the next drive, I throw one to Chris Godwin for about 7. The next play on 3rd and 5, I throw one to Rachaad White, but he ends up fumbling, and Washington gets the ball. After the fumble, Washington only gets 3. We get the ball back. I end up throwing an incompletion towards Mike Evans. The next play on 2nd and 10, I get a short pass to Mike Evans. A few plays on the same drive, I tried running away from pressure, but I ended up getting sacked. The next play after the sack, I end up getting a screen to Rachaad White. He gets about 11. The next drive, our defense gives up 7 points, but I get a nice connection to Mike Evans. The next play, we throw it to Mike Evans again for about 15 yards. The next play, I run out of the pocket for 7 yards. The next play on 2nd and 3, I try and run again, but I get stuffed and get about 1 yard. The next play on 3rd and 2, I try and get it to Chris Godwin, but falls up incomplete. The last drive, we give up 3 and we get 3, and now we're down by 14. I try and get a pass off, but I get pressured. The next play on 2nd and 10, I get a risky throw to Mike Evans for about 7. The next play on a critical 3rd and 4, I end up getting the first by running. The next play, I scramble out of the pocket for about 6. The next play, I try and get a pass to our wide receiver 4, but it ends up going incomplete. The next play on a critical 3rd and 4, I get it to Cade Otton for the first down. A play later, I run out of the pocket for about 9 yards. The next play, I lob one up to Cade Otton, and we get about 32 yards. A play later, I throw one to Chris Godwin for about 7 yards. The next play, I scramble out of the pocket and give it to Rachaad White, and he scores. After the touchdown, our coach says he wants to go for 2, so I scramble out of the pocket and get it. And that makes it about a 1-score game. At the end of the day, the last touchdown did not matter. We ended up losing the game at 34-28. But overall, from the 3 picks, we did pretty good. We had 2 touchdowns, 297 yards passing, and 46 rushing yards.